All right, guys, a lot of people sent me messages to do a video on this, and a lot of you in the comments brought this up on my last video. So if you know or you don't know, the lawmakers in Massachusetts are set to get an 11% pay raise in 2025. You heard that right. This is more than double the 4.42%, if I remember from memory, that they got in 2023. And look, to a point I could understand, these raises are tied to the changes in the state's median income. However, an 11% jump seems pretty massive to me. I don't know what you guys think. I don't think people in the real world are seeing a pay raise jump like that. You let me know in the comments. I certainly, my friends, I don't see that being humanly possible. But here's where it gets interesting, and I'm going to share this article from the Herald. So voters, you guys, overwhelmingly passed a law saying that the state legislature has to open up their books for an audit. Okay, for an audit. But it seems like some of the lawmakers are stalling. Of course they are. So it really makes you wonder, at least myself, that should they be taking the raise before they follow through what the voters and the people clearly asked for? And that's what this article is about. So let me share this with you and we'll go over it and break it down a little bit. So it says, Fiscal watchdog calls on Massachusetts lawmakers to accept an audit before they take a pay raise. Lawmakers on Beacon Hill need to remember the will of the constituents that put them there before they undertake any legislative action or allow themselves a recently approved pay raise, according to the local fiscal watchdog organization. The State House and Senate began 194th General Court of the Commonwealth on Wednesday, and according to Paul Craney, a spokesperson for the Massachusetts Fiscal Alliance, the first thing they need to do is allow an audit of the legislature to proceed as approved by the voters. I would agree with that, okay? Before the legislature accepts their pay raise, they should accept the results of the audit, the legislature ballot question, Craney told the Herald. When presented with the choice on this November's ballot, the vast majority of Bay State voters, at least 71%, approved a new law giving the state auditors the authority to audit the state legislature. According to the Secretary of the Commonwealth, Bill Gavin, that law is set to take effect on Friday. That's probably tomorrow. House and Senate leadership have maintained from the beginning of Auditor Diana DiZoglio's 2-year-old quest to look into their affair that her office lacks the authority to do so according to the separation of power outlined in the state's constitution. So I think what they're basically saying there is that she's been trying to do this for over 2 years. They're not allowing her to do that because apparently it's outlined in the Constitution that this would be some levels of a separation of power, okay? And then they go on to say, here we go, both chambers are already audited by outside agencies according to their respective leadership teams. House Speaker Ron Mariano and Senate President Karen Spilka have both previously signaled a willingness to revisit the ballot question law for potential revisions that would keep in line with the Constitution, but neither mentioned it when they were reelected to their leadership roles on Wednesday. Of course not. DiZoglio, and I apologize if I'm destroying your name, attempted to begin an audit in November, shortly after the ballot initiative was passed, has apparently been stonewalled by lawmakers. Mass Fiscal, along with the fellow watchdogs Act on Mass and the Pioneer Institute, have threatened legal action to force them to comply. If anybody knows her, could reach out to me. I would love to get her on an interview, by the way. We think that government officials should follow the law, and it's our intention to make sure that it is in this instance, if they do not do it voluntarily, which we hope they do, then we stand ready at Pioneer Law Center to initiate such litigation as might be necessary in order to achieve that result. Pioneer Public Interest Law Center President Frank Bailey said last month. Lawmakers are also set to receive a pay raise of 11% in 2025, which reflects an increase in median salaries. Okay, we covered that already. I said that earlier. They shouldn't take the money if they aren't going to do as they've been ordered by the voters, according to Craney. This legislative session should not start by lawmakers further enriching themselves and rejecting the will of the voters, he said. I think that's what everybody's problem is, okay? What they that, what they want versus what the people want, they just don't align. They don't align. It's a broken legislative system at the State House, and their actions over the next week or two will demonstrate how corrupt it's becoming. So, again, if I think to some capacity, if they have two private organizations that are already doing an audit, I don't see what the issue would be. I mean, look, I don't know every single line of the Constitution here in Massachusetts, whatever may be happening in terms of a breach of power or whatever. However, if it's something that the public voted for, how is it not in the best interest of the people that are in power to allow this audit to happen to satisfy what the people want? Okay, what you guys want, what the people of Massachusetts want. And that's my stance on this. Look, if the audit works out and everything is okay, then essentially the people could say, okay, this makes sense. This could be allowable. We're okay with this 11% raise. But if the audit doesn't look that good, then people are going to be upset. So again, I don't know if they're using what they said as like some level of deflection to not allow that audit to happen. But ultimately, I would love to get on an interview with her to see what she thinks. If anybody knows her, let me know. Anyway, guys, that's it for the video today. I'm not sure if I'll be around tomorrow. We have a couple things going on with the kids. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.